Hello there, welcome back to my channel. How many of you are like me and you hear the word blue eyeshadow or the words blue eyeshadow and you're super intimidated? Well, we are going to hopefully make blue eyeshadow less scary. When I asked in a recent uncut video what colorful eyeshadow look you wanted to see, the majority of the answers were blue eyeshadow. I had a few that were turquoise and one or two that were green. So I was on Pinterest this morning just searching for inspiration. And I feel like blue eyeshadow is hard to do in a soft way. So I'm challenging myself. This is my inspiration picture. I'll pop it up on the screen. I found this and I thought, okay, we're gonna start here. And then I also found a beautiful turquoise and peach look as well. So we'll do that on another day, but today we're gonna try to do this soft kind of icy blue eyeshadow look. So I put on my Stitch Fix dress that I have been wearing nonstop. I love this, it's so comfortable and it just has the perfect colors for this look. We've got blue, we've got navy, we have peach, and I feel like blue and peach are complementary tones. That's what you use if you have blue eyes. You use peach tones on your eyes, it brings out the blue. So that's kind of our goal. That's where we're heading. So I added some of the Hourglass concealer all over my lids because for this light blue eyeshadow look, we really want that color to be true. And in order to do that, I need to cancel out all of the discoloration on my lids. So while that sets, I'm gonna go in with foundation, and I pulled out the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear and the True Match. I mixed these two, so I have the shade W2.5, and this is 475. And I do a little more of this than this, so not quite a whole pump of the Fresh Wear. Mix that together. But before we do that, I found this in my collection, the L'Oreal Lumi Lotion, or Glotion, I should say. And this shade, oh, which one is this? This is 904. So I think there's like 3 different shades of this. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on the back of my hand. Now you can put this all over your face. I think I am just going to do a little bit of this on the tops of the cheeks. Do you see how pretty that is? And it doesn't have really any glitter particles, so I like that about it, but it is very glowy. So you can see I have a lot of glow already going on, and that is just my skincare and my sunscreen. So a lot of you ask, what do you have on your face already to make it glowy? I'll link my skincare routine down below. But that's the, I guess, blessing of having oily combination skin. I just have to think about glowy skin and I have glowy skin. All right, now that we have that on, that sunk in really quickly and I don't feel like it really accentuated extra texture, so that's a good thing. Now let's go back to, let's see, before we do foundation, I think our eyelids are ready. I'm gonna add eyeshadow primer. This is the Alter Ego eyeshadow primer. I like this when I combine it with concealer underneath. On its own, I don't feel like it holds the shadow color quite as true all day. It's pretty good, but I have super oily lids. But when combined with that Hourglass concealer, I feel like they are a really good match. And it's light enough that it doesn't really disturb the concealer underneath. So that's the key when you're doing this multi-step process. You want to make sure your primer that you're putting over your concealer doesn't move that concealer too much. Some primers are just thicker. I feel like the Milani one really disturbs the primer or the concealer, but I love the Milani one all by itself. So there you go. All right. More than you ever wanted to know about eyelid priming, right? Okay, now let's go in with a little foundation. I'm going to use the travel size BK Beauty 101 brush just because my large sizes are all dirty. And I'm going to try to shear this out a little bit, especially over the cheek area where we have, yeah, I'm still seeing a little bit of that glotion peeking through. Now, this foundation combination, you can go pretty full coverage, but I'm gonna try to lighten it up. Now, with a colorful eye look, I feel like it's important to really have pretty good coverage on your skin. So if you don't have nearly perfect skin, like I don't, then you definitely want to make sure you even out all the redness, because you want the focus to stay on the eyes. And if you have kind of colorful eyes, but then you've got redness peeking through on your skin, and then you've got your lip color, and it just can be a little distracting and not the goal for this look. So we want the main focus to be on that bright, fresh eye look. So we'll see if we can get there today. I was tempted to try this look today and then film it tomorrow, but I thought, you know what? Let's just take you along for the ride. If it turns out horribly, well, then maybe I'll refilm it. But I think sometimes it's fun in these uncut videos to let you see the full process, because that's everyday life, right? And I want you to see my struggles along the way and how I fix things, because I think that's how we learn how to get better at makeup application. Okay, so I just took, this is the rougher sponge. It's a really nice lightweight sponge, and I just dumped my brush on the floor. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit and sink in, and definitely feel like I'm gonna need powder. So the inspiration picture, she has pretty glowy skin, but I'm gonna keep the glow just in certain places, and we'll mattify kind of the center of the face, but we'll let the foundation kind of do its thing, and we'll go to the eyes. Okay, so we need to set the eyeshadow in place, and I feel like I need a little, I've got a little raspy voice going on here. I'm gonna use just a little bit of the Nakia Joy Velvet Setting Powder. And this is the rougher number 33 brush. And I'm just gonna pack this in. I actually feel like this is a look that I do need to do my brows first as well. So we'll go next to brows and then eyes. It's always a work in progress. I have to decide how I wanna do things. So in order to go to the brows, I do need to add a little setting powder. So I'm going to use the NYX Mineral Matte Setting Powder today to set the rest of my face. But right now I'm just going to take a powder puff and press this between the brows and through the eyebrows, so that later when I powder my face, I won't disturb my work I've done on my brows. You know, the brows are not my favorite thing to do. So if we get them done, we don't want to have to redo them again. I'm using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. This is 3.5. I have ordered a lighter shade in this just to see, but this has actually been working pretty well as long as I go in with a very light hand. And I'm gonna have to pull out my magnifying mirror here in a moment. Just kind of going to outline the bottom of my brow. All right, now let's get serious. I'm playing around with my camera and mirror setup for filming, so you'll have to let me know lighting wise. I have a little less light on today. My mirror is setting in front of my part of my ring light, so let me know if brighter is better or if you like this lighting setup. All right, let's get some brows here. And as you can see, my blonde hair is growing out. So I think once my darker roots started showing, I felt like my brows weren't quite as stark. So maybe that's when I started really loving this pencil. I think I have a backup of the CoverGirl Nano Brow Pencil in blonde. I want to pull that back out because that is one of my favorites. but this has just been in my drawer. I'm using it up. So let's see if we can do this rather quickly. Now, the turquoise and peach look that I have in mind will probably be using the same palette or palettes that I'm using today. So I have the Alter Ego palettes. Now, these are a great way if you want to experiment with color and not, you know, invest a lot of money in a really expensive palette, because I love to wear color every once in a while, but not every day. So if I spend $80 on a colorful palette and I only use it every once in a while, I don't think that's a wise use of my money. But these Alter Ego palettes I think are great if you want to just have some fun every once in a while. And the Dream Gaze palette actually, which is probably going to be mostly what I use today, that one, I have been just loving a couple of the neutral shimmer shades in there, but that has just been such a surprising hit. I think it's a replication of one of the Natasha Denona, I don't know, pastel palette or something she put out, I think last year. So anyway, let's see here. Let's get our brows finished up. And then as I was going through my eyeshadows, trying to find the right lid shade, I think gonna pull in a single shadow from Sydney Grace. And Sydney Grace shadows are so good. And I always forget that they have like a Christmas in July sale, and that actually might be live around the time that this video goes up. So I didn't plan on that, but it's good timing. So you might be able to pick up some of their single shadows on sale, or palettes as well. They have a couple new palettes coming out that I'm interested in. And then I just saw that Natasha Denona has a new mini, I think it's the mini rose palette. By the time this goes out, hopefully I will have that in my possession, but as of today, it's not quite available. So I'm going to use a little bit of clear brow gel from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I got a free sample of the ABH Brow Freeze, I think it is. And I used it yesterday and it was okay. I don't know that I found it to be that strong, much stronger than this one. And I like the brush on this a little better. So, okay, we're gonna leave the brows there. If we need to perfect them later, we can. All right, let's just stop the procrastination and get to our eyeshadow, right? Okay, so Alter Ego Dream Gaze palette. I'll pop up on the screen again my inspiration picture. So as I was swatching through the blues in here, I really feel like this primarily by itself with maybe a little bit of this blended in, or we might dip into a little bit of this. Now the problem with this blue is it is a metallic. So when I do blue looks, I did a very dramatic blue and purple and pink look, and it was really fun, but I know most of you are probably not into that. So let me know if you want something super dramatic like that, but I'm probably gonna be using some of the teals in here in the next look. But right now I'm gonna set this palette aside for the time being, and let's see, I need a brow bone highlight shade. What do I want to use? I'll just go to the one I've been using from here just to use up this shadow. Just pull in whatever is closest to your skin tone. So I'm just going to go in here, Sigma E50. And the reason why I do this, especially with a colorful look, is it gives me something to blend into. So it helps diffuse the color as we go above the crease. So I'm gonna actually pack a little bit more of this a little further down. Okay, all right, let's just go for it. Okay, I'm gonna start off with a kind of real fluffy brush. This is the rougher number 16. It does have a point on it. So we're gonna just start in with this shade and we're gonna see how much color we can get off of it. definitely tap your brush off. And we'll see what we do here. This is where knowing that I have kind of those other blue shades on hand might come in handy. Now, normally when I do blue eyeshadow, I start off with something peachy or tan in the crease, but I'm really challenging myself because based on our inspiration picture, I really just see basically two colors going on. We've got the blue and then that beautiful kind of frosty white. And it's a very ethereal look. It could almost be wintry, but the way that maybe because of her kind of, it looks like she has like a floral top on, that with her flower in her hair, it looks very bright and fresh and summery. So we're going to do that. But hey, if you love blue eyeshadow, want to do this all year long, you could do this in the winter. Ironically, as I was thinking about this look, my mom would always say, you know, you should do a blue look. Even though she never, to my recollection, ever wore blue eyeshadow, she would often say, you know, you should do blue. Or, you know, thinking about like palettes and stuff, she's like, you know, it'd be fun to have a blue eyeshadow in there. And it's just really funny to me. I think we all want to embrace blue, but when it comes down to it, we're very intimidated, so we don't do it. So let's just have some fun. I hope that some of you will have some fun, whether this look turns out or not. I hope that some of you, if you've got blue eyeshadow, you'll give this a try, because I think makeup is just fun to experiment with. We've got to not take ourselves so seriously all the time, right? Okay, I think I can already tell I'm going to want to add some peach, but we're going to wait. We're going to wait on the peach. Okay, I'm going to leave that, and we're going to go to the lid. So this is where I did not have, now this, okay, we're going to use maybe a little bit of actually the shade in here, but this one looks white, but it has a very strong pink flash, and the yellow has a little bit of gold, too much gold, goldy green. So went through all of my stash, and I found this one from Sydney Grace. This is called Velvet. I didn't even check to see if it's still available, but you can buy them singly. This is a very good true white shimmer, very cool tone. So we're going to put this all over the lid, and then we'll go back and we're going to add a little dimension, I think, with the Dream Gaze palette again. So we're going to try and keep this pretty simple, but it is going to be a game of a few layers. And that's the thing with colorful eyeshadow. Just give yourself some grace. Don't think that you have to have it perfect from the first time you put it down. You may have to go back and forth a few times just to deepen things up. So actually, those two colors are really pretty. So I think the key with blue is you want to pick two tones or two colors, your blue and your white, that have a similar undertone. So if you're going turquoise, I think turquoise looks a little better with kind of like that more gold, hint of gold. So since we're doing a cooler tone blue, we're going to keep it there. Okay, I might add, let's add just a hint of this now. Okay, right in the center. And it's just going to tone that white down just a hair. Okay. And now we're going to go back to deepening up our blue a little bit. And for this, I need a slightly skinnier brush. Let's go in, boy, it's time to clean brushes again. I'm going to go in with the 01 Max from Rougher. And I am going to, this scares me, but okay. I'm going to just dip my brush in here, and okay, and then I'll dip it into this shade here, and let's just see what that does. So I don't want to do too much. Yeah, see, that is like plenty. Oh my goodness. So those blues in that Alter Ego palette, those are pretty pigmented, the blue and that dark purple. I did do a really fun dramatic look with those colors. Oh my word. I was just playing. So this is what I would encourage you to do. If you're scared to death to wear blue eyeshadows out and you have some already in your collection, just right before you're going to wash your makeup off for the night, just go sit down and slap on some blue eyeshadow and just have a little fun, experiment, and then go take it off. And then it's a lot more freeing. You're like, okay, we can just have some fun and we'll wash it right off. Okay, I know this is looking a little crazy, but at the moment, okay, let's see here. I'm gonna see what happens if we dip. So this one has a little bit of some sheen to it, but I'm gonna go in there. I don't know that that really changes much. Okay, we're gonna stop for the moment, add some liner, and we'll do our cheeks, and then we might go back and add just a little bit of some peach. I know, you're all like, what? Okay, for eyeliner, I feel like black is the way to go if you're using cool tone blues. So I'm gonna use this new one from MAC. This is the Brushstroke 24-hour liner, and it's in black. I think this comes in 2 shades. And I like the tip on it, but I've not used this yet. It does not have a shaker ball, which I wish it did, but I'm just going to go super close to the lash line. Now the inspiration pictures, she had full on lashes for sure, but she just had this really fine line of black liner. So I'm not gonna do big lashes, but we're just gonna add a little bit of liner here. It's hard for me to talk and concentrate at the same time. All right, let's see. All right. Well, the tricky thing here is because we're going over light color, it is going to really show our liner. So if you are not comfortable with liquid liner, which some days I am, some days I'm not, go ahead and pull in a pencil or use a shadow. If you have a black eyeshadow, that will be probably just as good. Okay, that's not too bad. Now we got to do the other eye. Okay, now this is definitely, I should have said this at the beginning, it's kind of like when I was getting blonde put in my hair. You got to just trust the process. So I feel like colorful looks do not come together until you've got concealer on and mascara. Those 2 things really help the look. Like you can go, oh, now I see where we're going. Okay, this is a nice eyeliner. I also have the, I should have pulled out the Lisa Eldridge Kitten Flick liner. That also would have been great for this look. I forgot. I've not tried that one yet, but I have it to test out. Okay, so you know, I have a more wide open eye over here. So I do the liner a little different, a little thicker over here to help even things out. So just so you know, and again, it'll come together once mascara is on. I feel like I hold my breath. I'm doing liner out here, okay. Because you know, you go too far and yeah, the whole thing is crazy. All right. Okay, I think we're gonna stop there for the moment. And now let's go to the lower lash line. And where did my blue, I have a beautiful blue liner. Uh-oh, it might be on my desk somewhere. Oh, great. Dalton has a beautiful navy blue liner. And I used it the other day. And wouldn't you know it? Oh, there it is. We found it. This is so pretty. So I used this for my super dramatic look as a base, but today I'm just going to, I think I'm going to try a little bit of it on the lower lash line. And this is their, it's the This Colors Everything eyeliner. So I'm just gonna put this really close in the lashes. And this is so pretty. It does not scream blue at all, but just that really nice neutral navy. Oh, you know what palette I could have used is the Dalton, their Doll Squad 3 palette. I'll show you that in a moment. That actually has a, I think it has a white in there too. But I had promised to use these Alter Ego palettes, so that's why I first gravitated towards those. But all right, now I want to just lighten up that lower lash line liner a little bit, and I need my brush. Okay, I thought I was a little better prepared. You can be with me searching for my favorite brushes that all need to be washed. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the M432, and let's go back to this shadow. And now let's put that on the lower lash line. And I'm going to now kind of brush this up. And don't worry, we'll make this make sense here in a moment. But I just want to kind of soften and lighten that lower lash line here. I feel like this blue on the lower lash line is standing out quite a lot. Okay, now let's go back to our white shadow here. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of this over the top of that. Okay, we might change that even more, but we'll see for the moment. And let's go back now, and I'm going to just connect a little more of the lower lash line there. Did you tell I was holding my breath there? All right, let's pull in my, yeah, that's what I thought. Now, what I did, you know what we could do, because this is, let's see how this looks. So the other day, what I did is I took my blue liner and I did kind of a double wing with a space in between. To my liner brush and just kind of smudge that out. I mean, it's blue eyeshadow. We've got to be a little dramatic, right? And go back to that light blue eyeshadow in the Dream Gaze palette. And the great thing here is if you get done and you're like, you know, I really don't like it, when we clean up with our almond oil, you could easily just wipe that away. So I'm gonna leave it for now, and let's clean up with some almond oil on a Q-tip. And my dog is in the other room, so hopefully, yeah, she's taking a nap. So she will not try to make a jump for my almond oil. She loves the smell of almond oil. Always tries to eat it off my desk. Okay, I need a little bit more here. All right, and then we will add some concealer and get our cheek color going, and then we'll see what we think. Okay, all right, let's okay. Now you could I know a lot of people like to do like inner rim, you know, with a nude liner or something, but you know, I avoid that now at all costs. So we're gonna leave the inner rim just as it is. Let's go to concealer. And for today, I'm pulling out my Revlon concealers. I'm gonna start off with shade 001, which is kind of a neutralizing, it's yellow based. So yellow or peach can help counteract blue or purple under eyes. So if you have tried peach or pink under your eyes as a color corrector and it's just not working, you can also try a yellow based corrector, and sometimes that works just as well. So I did this yesterday. I pulled this out. I was just doing a quick neutral look and I thought, you know, this actually works quite well. It's affordable. So let's use our drugstore concealers, right? And I think I'm a combination of number 40 and 50. They don't have the names on this packaging, but online they go by names and not numbers. So I'll link everything down below and list the colors that I'm using. I always do that. And if you have trouble finding that information, just click over here where it says more, and then you're going to click more again and scroll all the way down, and I'll have everything. And I like to list things in the order that I use them. So just FYI, if you're like looking for all of the eye stuff together and it's not, that's why. Because I usually do my mascara at the end, it's lower down. So I don't know that I've ever explained my logic there of how I link things, but that's how I do it. Okay. I feel like this concealer does really well tapped in with your fingers. And then I finish off with a little bit of my brush just to make sure, you know, before I powder, that there's nothing settled in fine lines under there. So, all right. It's looking pretty good. Let me add just a touch more here. And then I'll go back and just add a little bit here on the tip of my nose. That little extra redness sometimes. And a little bit here. And we'll go back and brighten the inner corner. But you can see, because I have yellow undertones to my skin, using cooler tones like blues can be a little tricky. So I'm going to show you how we bring this together. Okay, while that sits, I'm going to let that kind of set a little bit. And let's add a little bit of bronzer. Can't talk today. I'm going to use the Doll 10. This is the Endless Summer Fresh Squeezed Vitamin Infused Solid Serum Bronzer. I pulled this out a couple weeks ago and I forgot just how nice and easy this is. And it's just kind of the perfect mix of bronzer and contour for me. And I think it's pretty universal as far as the tone. And I'm using the BK Beauty 107. Yes, you would think I would know that brush by now, but I get that one, this one, and the 103 confused. Like, which one am I using? Do you see how nice that is? Love that. Okay, so definitely showing me, even with the bronzer, we're gonna need to bring a little bit of something neutral through the crease, but we'll do that in a moment. Okay, and I don't think I'm gonna get crazy with contour today. This is just going to be my main contour. I'll do a little bit on the nose, a little nose contour, because I just want a little shaping there. So I'm going to use, this is the Nikki LaRose brush. This is the N16 from BK Beauty. I'm still finding my way with the two Nikki brushes that I have purchased, trying to find what I like best to use them for. So this is one of the things she said you can use this for. So I've been trying this out and I do like it so far. Helps me not get too much product on my brush. Using for the nose contour. Okay, let's do a little bit of, I think we need a setting powder now. Trying to decide which blush scenario I'm gonna use. Let's see, do I want to use, well, how about let's do a little bit of this blush first. This is Nude Sticks Sweet Peach Peony. I have not used this in forever. I'm gonna use the rougher number 4 brush, and I just like to tap from the top of the stick there and then tap it into my cheeks. I want to start with this. So I feel like this is the tone of the inspiration picture, but I may change it slightly with some powder blush on the top. So we'll start with this one though. These, I love these. I always forget how good they are till I pull them out again. It's been a while. This was one of the first ones I ever bought. And this is the Nudies Bloom. So this one has, it just has like a satin finish. There's no shimmer or anything, but you can see it adds some glow to the skin. All right, we need some powder, and then I can better assess what's going on the eyes. So let's go back to our NYX Mineral Matte powder, and I'll blend out any extra creases I have here with my foundation. Our weather has been so hot, and even though I'm inside, you know, we have air conditioner, we try not to keep it like freezing cold. So I always feel like this time of the day it's starting to get a little warm in the house. So all right, I'm gonna use my powder puff. Yes, definitely helps the whole situation here. All right, and trying to stay away from my brows so I don't mess up my brows, and I'm also trying not to mess up my crazy hair. If you saw my last hair tutorial, you will know this is something that I do sometimes on second day hair. So this is second day hair for me. Just fun to, you know, be able to change it up from day to day without too much effort. All right, and now let's powder under the eyes. And to do that, I'm gonna go to the new Tarte Creaseless Powder in Yellow. I've been loving this shade, oh my goodness. And right before I do that though, I'm going to blend out any creases I have on the concealer. Just a little bit. Okay. Yes, all right. I'm gonna use the little tiny powder puff that comes with it and tap it off in my hand and press in. Okay. All right. So now I feel like I'm better able to decide what I want to do here with my eyes. And I don't know, I'm toying with, how about that lower lash line blue? But you know, we'll just see what we think here. I may go in with a little neutralizing shade after we go through the crease. All right, so in the crease of the eye, I think we'll add a little bit of peach, but before we do, let's add just a little bit of some powder peach blush. So this is the Patrick Ta Blush Duo, and this is Do We Know Her? And I've used this before in my peach tutorial, and I just think the little bit of that powder, so you could definitely go in with the cream in here, but I wanted to try the Nudies Bloom stick on its own first and just see how that went on. And now, because I want just a little bit of that blush shade, I think in the crease, oh, it's a little scary, right? Let's go in now with, trying to decide between these two palettes. I think I'm gonna go in back to this one, the Mystique palette. And let's just do a tiny little bit of this pink and the peach. Just a little. Oh, this could be, yeah, a little, let's see. Well, very subtle, which is what we want. We don't want it to overtake, but I don't want that blue to become like gray as it goes up. Does that make sense? All right, I think I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna go in just here and a tiny bit of that. Ooh. Okay. I don't know that that was super impactful, but I just was feeling like this part up here along the brow was just looking a little dull, shall we say. Okay, I think we're gonna leave that alone. Let's just leave it. Okay, and for my cheeks, I do want a little bit of some highlighter. Ooh, let's see, I'm trying to see, I have this new palette from Tarte. I have not used this much. I forgot all about it in my drawer, and I'm gonna try this highlighter. So this is the Shape Tape Glow Blush Bar. This came in 2 different colorways, and this was the fairer of the 2, I think. So let's use, oh, I thought I was way more prepared for this video than I am. Use the rougher brush. Now this was the special edition, but I think they have a similar brush now. Try and link it below. This is pretty. I just want something a little glowy. And let's see. On the inner corner, let's go back to our white shadow now and just brighten that up. Yeah, I think that's what we needed. I usually do this after I add concealer anyway. All right. Okay, that's really fun. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of this shadow on my M432 and let's just brighten up this lower lash line a little bit. I'm just pressing that in. So I feel like I got a little too dark of a blue under here, but I wanted to have something to grip the eyeshadow that we put on top. So that is why going in with an eyeliner first. That's usually the trick for that. And then, I know, we're really only, I mean, the main colors are 3 colors, but we got to go back and forth. So let's go back to this yellow now. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I told you you'd be coming along for the ride with me here. And hopefully we're gonna bring this all together. And now we need mascara. Let's curl our lashes using the rougher lash curler. And hopefully, I think my mascara video should be up by now. So hopefully that helps you get the most out of your natural lashes. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it down below. But this is one of those scenarios where inspiration picture has false lashes, and I'm going to try and make my natural lashes look as good as they can without having to add any falsies. And this overall pattern of eyeshadow, this is something you could do with any color. You could do this with green, with purple, pink, just adding, I think, that bright shade all over the lid, a white or a cream kind of champagne shade. I think it makes it less dramatic. I mean, we are wearing blue eyeshadow, but I don't know that it's as intimidating as some of the other like full-on blue looks. And I, as a child of the 80s, maybe that's why blue seems intimidating, because I remember dramatic, you know, blue eyeshadow looks with frosty pink lips, and boy, I loved it. Even though I wasn't old enough. Was I old enough? At the very end of the 80s, I was old enough to start wearing a little eyeshadow, but I was wearing lip gloss. There was a frosty pink lip gloss from Wet n Wild that I absolutely loved. And man, I would just goop my lips up with that. Oh, it was my favorite. And you know, that was back in the day when Wet n Wild was 99 cents for a lip gloss. So it was something that my budget from babysitting and doing other things that I could afford. And then I think my mom had a blue eyeshadow. It was just like a single eyeshadow from CoverGirl or something that I would sometimes put on weekends. I couldn't wear it to school, but I always loved playing with makeup. All right, let's see here. Okay, see, it's already looking better, right? At least that's what I'm telling myself. Now, there's a way we could step this up even more. So if you were doing a very fancy occasion and you wanted it even more dramatic, you could add a little hint of some glitter, like a glitter topper, which would be so pretty. I have a couple of options. The Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy and Space Cowboy. Those are just like glitter toppers you could add on. That would be really pretty. I don't know that we're gonna do that today because I don't really have anywhere special to go today that needs glitter. You know what I'm saying? I don't think when I go and work out at the gym later today that I need to have glitter on my eyelids, but you never know. It's a fun thing. Show up to the gym and you've got like a full face of glam makeup on. That's what happens to me, you know, because I'm filming videos. I go to the gym with whatever makeup I have on for the day. So, hey, if it happens to be glitter eyeshadow, it's okay. All right. Now I'm looking at this blue shade on my eyes and I do feel like it's a little more turquoise. Do you think so? I mean, in the pan, it looked a lot more cool toned, like my lower lash line is, but I do feel like it ended up being a little more of a warmer blue than we started off with, so that's okay. All right. Almost there. You're almost there. And I feel like the inspiration picture, even though she's got long falsies on, they're not super thick. So we don't want to cover up all that beautiful blue eyeshadow, right? Okay, let's add some lower lash mascara. This is the Caliray, and my mascara combo on the top, I don't know that I said, was the MAC Lash Stack Primer and the IT Cosmetics Superhero mascara, and this is the Caliray tubing mascara. All right, and now, I don't know, I'm still looking at that blue, thinking, might want to cool it down just a little bit, but we'll see. Okay, my brows, I think we're okay. I'm gonna add maybe just a little extra right here. Oh, I don't want the brows to be too crazy. Okay. All right, on the eyes, it's really hard for me not to bring in my blush color through the crease of the eye. Oh, let's go back to our blues. Let's add just the tiniest touch of this right here. And we'll mix it again with our matte shade here. And let's just, okay. I feel like I'm holding my breath too when I'm applying blue eyeshadow. That's so funny. I mean, it's just eyeshadow, right? Why are we so intimidated, right? Okay. All right. I think that's really fun. Very, very, very dramatic for being kind of a pastel look. Now we need something on the lips. So I'm going to wipe off my lip prep, which by the way was the Dr. Dennis Gross, the Plump and Repair Lip Treatment. So I do feel like my lips look really plump after I use that. And they feel very conditioned. So I'm going to use a little soft ochre paint pot around the edge of the lips here. And we're going to go, I pulled out a couple of lip options. And then once we get those on, we may revisit our cheek color. I don't know. This is just a work in progress. So I have two lip liners I pulled out. This one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is called Sandstone. And let me swatch that for you. It's kind of a warm brown. And then we have this new one I got from Buxom, and it's Sassy Sienna. And this one, they're very similar colors. Let me see. Okay. Sassy Sienna is just slightly lighter. I think I'm going to do that one. Okay, let's go in with that. And then, let's see what, oh yeah, I know what lipstick I pulled out. I don't even know if it's still available. Okay. Okay. Who remembers my Tom Ford lipstick purchase? This one is the shade, is it Spanish Pink? I think it is. Yes, Spanish Pink. And it is a beautiful peachy pink. I was looking for peach and I thought, oh my goodness, I forgot about this. So paired with this lip liner, I think it's going to be the right shade. Because it can definitely go more pink if you use a pink liner. That's really fun. And then we'll add a little gloss. I have the Bobbi Brown. This is Bare Sparkle. Again, one I have not used in quite a while. This was my go-to for quite a long time. It's really pretty on its own. And then just to add a little pop of something. You do have to go in. It doesn't bring out a lot of product all at once, so got to go in a few times to get that. Okay. Now I'm going to take a step back, and I feel like I need maybe a little bit of bronzer. So I'm going to use the MAC. This is the Radiant Medium Golden Skin Finish Bronzer. Use my 103 brush from BK Beauty. And I'm just going to add a little bit. I feel like when in doubt, add a little bronzer. When in doubt about your makeup look, add a little bronzer, and it might bring everything together. And do we want to add a little bit of this? I don't think we do. Okay, I think that helped the situation here. Okay, so that just really blended everything. Okay, let me remove my mirror so you can get kind of the full effect here, and let's add some earrings. All right, did we keep it under an hour? I'm trying to make these videos a little shorter, but you know, when you're experimenting, especially with blue eyeshadow, it's hard to do that, you know? It's hard to pull a look together you've never done before in a short amount of time. So, all right, here is our finished look. What do you think? Would you wear blue eyeshadow? I think it's really fun and ironically kind of fresh, and with the peach tones on the lip, I think that kind of keeps it a little more summery. So if you wanted to do this in the wintertime, you could pull in maybe more of a brown tone on the lip. But I don't know, it's kind of fun. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, check the description box down below for the links and other videos that I talked about. I'll link those as well. And stay tuned for turquoise and peach eyeshadow look coming. That one I can't wait to do. I have just some really fun ideas for that. And of course, many other things to come. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.